to GodCenter. Yes, we are back and I'm excited. I am tired, but I'm excited. In this final video, this is the final video to wrap up this No Church November series from Pastor Travis Greene out of South Carolina. I wanted to just really share. There's going to be a merging of two videos. Keep this. So we've never done this, never seen, never done, okay, for GodCenter anyway. So we're merging two videos, two amazing videos, especially as we're entering into this holiday season. I know a lot of people going through things. We're always going through things because we are people and we are imperfect people at that. So nevertheless, the first clip that I'm going to show you is some, how should I say, just some real talk around continuing in relationship after there has been some sort of betrayal. Take a look at this clip.
Wow. How do I get past an affair? For the person who's asking, not me.
Boy, you better not be. I'm going to get you, man. As my adopted son, I'm going to come after you. So.
Well, you know, I think that it's important to acknowledge the betrayal that happened. And for some people, they want to move past and they want to skip right to forgiveness. But there is a lot of emotional discord that happens that has to be acknowledged. And the person that experienced or was the victim of that has to have time to work through their emotions and navigate them too, because so quickly we make those decisions very quickly right after the affair, and they may be irrational. You know, it's out of emotion and not so much a practical decision. We're not considering our family, we're not considering the impact, because divorce has a significant impact on everything. You know, and so I think first acknowledgement, but then working through the process of forgiveness. And we know that takes time. It's layers to forgiveness and accountability. Sometimes we find that, you know, accountability, the person really doesn't want to take accountability, and that has to happen. So maybe you do have to have your location on your phone sometimes to rebuild trust. And so it's a mutual agreement, working together to compromise, but ultimately you're recommitting yourselves to the person.
So hopefully you gain from that clip that with God, all things are possible. With man, it's not always possible. But with God, all things are possible. So that means even adultery is not a death sentence for a marriage. So now moving into our next video, wonderful video. It was amazing. Y'all just really need to check out the whole video, which will be included in the link below. But I want you to check out this particular clip because we are entering, as I said, we're in the holiday season. We're not entering, we are here. We are in the midst of it. And some of us have to navigate the holidays dealing with difficult family members, my God. Some of us have to navigate these holidays by ourselves. Some of us have to navigate the holidays just grieving for those who are no longer with us. And this video really was ultra helpful. So take a look at this clip.
What are some ways I've in overcoming or even heading into the holidays healthy with disappointment kind of looming in the background of, man, there are some things that have happened haven't happened that I'm disappointed about. Thank you, that's great. You know, maybe I'm disappointed because I'm not married yet or I don't have children yet. Infidelity, not infidelity, but infertility, both. But whatever, it's kind of, I'm entering this with something in my rearview mirror of, this isn't a happy time. How do I still have joy in a season like this, you know? You know,
one of my clients, she was 17, loves Jesus, and she stated something so plain that I thought was so powerful. She goes, people think that I don't have joy because I'm sad. She said, my joy comes from the Lord. Whoa. She said, but my experiences are what makes me sad. Wow. And so I think that I would even make my response to the people around the person that's grieving or the person that's having a hard time is that does not mean that they don't have joy in the Lord, but their experiences, they have a right to be sad.
I want to say one thing that I believe is one of the biggest enemies of forgiveness. It's not just like unforgiveness, it's indifference. I can just tell you in my own life and in my own Jesus, walk-in, there have been moments where I was confronted with something that hurt me. And although I said the words that was, you have to give forgiveness, receive forgiveness from God. And so I would say that, but what I would really do is internally withdraw. I'm not gonna put myself back out there to believe that you can be any better than my last experience. And rather than continuing to give my heart out, just hands off, I won't navigate back toward the person. And I don't know if that's real forgiveness, because God wasn't indifferent when he forgave.
We are curated and created in a culture that is about self-preservation. When nothing about Jesus' life suggests that's the way he lived. They were like, I want to be Christian, I want to live like Christ. And it's like nothing about his journey was about self-preservation. He made wise choices at times. He stewarded his presence, said, hey, it's not my time yet. But by and large, his life is a model of saying, I have to continue to expose myself. Really good. Continue to expose my heart. And no matter come what may, as long as I'm fulfilling the will of the Father, fruitfulness will follow my faithfulness.
Oh man, oh my goodness. Oh my lamb is what I'm going to say. I love this clip. I love this whole video. And again, one of the major points that stuck out for me was that Jesus did not come to this earth for self-preservation. Oh my gosh. How many of us live in self-preservation mode? How much are we getting accomplished living, dwelling, staying in self-preservation mode? We're not willing to step out of the boat like Peter. At least, Peter may have sunk a little bit, but at least he had what it took to step out and trust God and make some steps towards Jesus. And I really love that. So I really pray that you guys listening to this will get out, shake yourself, get out of your comfort zone. Stop trying to preserve what people think about you and what people going to think about me if I do this. What's people going to think about if I do that? Why don't you ask yourself, what does God think about you if you do any particular thing, or if you don't do a particular thing? We just need a complete revamping. It's like we just need a shock, I don't know how many medical people is listening to this, but it's like that heart when it's chaotic and it's just going crazy. It's cardiac arrest, it's VFib or VTAC, whatever it's doing, okay? And the shock that we come through with that, with the we shock them, okay, so that we could stop the chaos, okay? And there is just, I don't even want to get off into too much of our next discussion, because we are going to have another discussion. It's going to be, I will be joined by a special guest, and we're going to be talking about the real McCoy, real situations going on in the church right now that people just don't want to talk about. But it's like when the heart is chaotic, it needs to be shocked, and it needs to be stopped and start over. And I feel like we're in a state of being in the church where it's like, somebody needs to deliver some jewels. Somebody needs to deliver some, and I mean jewels of electricity, not jewels. I'm talking about some electric shock to the people in the church, to us, the body of Christ, to wake us up from this slumber, to wake us up. Jesus did not come here in self-preservation mode. He did not care that he went to the sick. He went and sat and ate with prostitutes. He was not in self-preservation mode. He did not care what the Pharisees, the leading, religious folk, highfalutin folk thought about him. He came here on a mission. And how many of us have forgotten what the mission is? We are here to win souls. So I just want to speak to those who are still awake. If you're awake and you're hearing it, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to your spirit man, your spirit woman, that you know what the Great Commission is. Go out into the world and make believers, make disciples of them being the lost. Okay, so that's what we need to be about, of the Father's business, not just forming these cliques and just sticking together and can't reach out and want to point fingers at people who don't look like us or who are not moving like us. So anyways, yes, I am excited. I'm excited for what God is doing. Even, yes, in this year of 2020, with all that it is brung and in all that it is bought, I should say. But God is still doing great things, and we can be part of it. So I'm excited. I pray that you're excited. I pray that this video blesses you. Please do be sure to check those videos out in their entirety. Also, feel free to share, like, subscribe to this GodCenter page, because I'm not here to fulfill anything other than what God has put on my heart to do. So I really don't care what anybody has to say, who don't like this or who don't like that. So if you're here, if you want truth and you want to know what God is putting on the hearts of different people, you got to get back here. Okay, so make sure you also hit that bell after you subscribe so that you can know every time there is a GodCenter video that has been released, okay? And you will also be added to, not the Lamb's Book of Life, I can't help you there, but I can try to get you there, but you will be added to the GodCenter prayer book. And I'm going to start showing it again, because in case you didn't watch the unboxing. But if you didn't, go check that unboxing video out as well. So that is it for this episode of GodCenter. I will see you next time. But until then, be sure that you keep God at the center of all you do. Bye-bye.